readers. How was everybody today? I thought on Friday I would go over the passages that we asked you guys to work on this week. They are literature passages where we were kind of reviewing the skills that we've been learning from the beginning of the year and kind of just going over and reviewing some things this your first week home. So I thought I would show you the answers, and go over them with you and show you how I found the answers. And that way, as you move forward, you can use the same strategies that we use to fill out the passages today for future passages. So if you press pause and make sure you have your passages for this week, I'd like to go over it with you. Okay, the first one that we're going to do is says, adapted from the adventures of Peter Cottontail, Peter has another great laugh. That word adapted you might see a lot on passages, and it means that they took this from the big larger story, that they've taken it from someplace else and put it here for us today. But I thought we would go over the answers. The first thing I do is number 1. It says, why was Reddy Fox running late? The answer is C, because if I go back in the text for number 1, I always make sure that I underline my answers and write the question that text evidence answers. That's like one of the best strategies that you can use when you're filling out these kinds of answers for passages. So you want to just make sure that you're going to go and find the answer in the text that says, yes, this is the answer. Number 2, why was Peter Rabbit laughing at Reddy Fox? The answer is A for number 2, and we found that right here at the very end of the passage, that the joke was the monster that frightened, and I was All right, number 3, what excuse does Peter Rabbit give Reddy Fox as to why he cannot travel? The answer is A, and number 3 is found right here in this paragraph, number 3. All right, number 4 is which detail from the selection shows that Peter was laughing very hard? The answer is B. He laid down on his back and kicked his heels for joy. And that one is found right here, right in the text. And that's what this standard works is geared towards, going back and finding the answer in the text that you can answer those types of questions. And number 5 is, why did Reddy Fox think that Peter Rabbit had gone crazy? Is B, because Peter Rabbit was laughing and Reddy Fox did not know why. And kids, that answer is found right here in this paragraph. He just didn't know what to make of. He couldn't see a thing to laugh at all. Okay, that's passage number 1 from last week. All right, great job. Let's move on to number 2. What is science anyway? Here's another literature. It's about Kate and her friend Nia. All right, question number 1. What is the central message? Now you see that word central message? I want everybody to write the word theme or lesson, because those 3 terms mean the same thing. Sometimes authors of questions will either use central message, theme, lesson, and it all means the same thing. And the answer for this question is letter B. Science is wondering about a subject and searching for answers. And that's right here in this paragraph right here, number 1. Good. Number 2, which detail from the selection describes what science is? That answer is B. It's found very close, right here, number 2. Number 3, which statement from the selection supports the need to study science? The answer is D. You get that right here. It says science plays an important part in just about every job. Number 3. Let's see, number 4. Which statement supports the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson in paragraph 16? Circle those words and numbers in your question, because it's telling you where you're going to find it. And you have to go right back to paragraph 16. Sometimes you have to read what comes before the paragraph itself, and what comes next in order to get the answer. So for that question, number 4, we found it right here, shortly after the paragraph itself. Okay, number 5, what lesson do Nia and Kate learn by the end of the selection? Which means that a lot happened through the whole selection in order for her to learn a lesson by the end. And this was a tricky one for me. I said, oh, is it B? Is it D? Girls and boys, the answer is D, understanding video games. That's what science is, because way back at the beginning of the passage, right, they're talking about creating video games and deciding whether or not to have a conversation about that and ask their teacher about that. So you have to be a detective with some questions and go and find it. Connect the beginning, the middle, and the end to pick the best choice. And then you see, at the end, we wind back up at the video games. So that's the answer to number 5 of that passage is letter D, science is understanding video games. All right, let's do our next one. This is from Standard RL 3.3. Okay, adapted from A Runaway Umbrella by Flora Louise Whitmore. All right, let's go to question number 1. Why did Marjorie pick up the umbrella? Well, that's letter D. She wanted to pretend it was a rainy day. And look, that's a right there question. It would be fun to take the umbrella and play rainy day. That word play is the same word as pretend. Right? When you play something, quite often you're pretending to do things. So those are the kinds of things us as readers have to make sure that we're paying attention to. Number 2, why did Marjorie start to cry? The answer is A, because she lost her umbrella, and that's right here. Right? She began to cry. It's right here. This word then, right here, something happened to make her cry. So we have to pay attention to these transition words because that tells us when it happens. She began to cry means that here's the reason in that paragraph why she cried. First this, then this. So lots of times we really, like I said before in the other passage, that we have to read the paragraph before, the paragraph itself, where we find the words to the question, and afterwards we want to kind of sandwich those in to come up with the best choice. So that one is letter A. She lost her umbrella. Number 3, why did Marjorie jump off the curb? Because C, she was trying to catch the umbrella. Number 3, we found right here. Here's the word curb. She jumped and ran for the umbrella. But the question says, why did she do that? And the answer is found here, that we have to infer. That the wind came along, lifted the umbrella right out of her little hand and took it out into the middle of the street and set it down. Now we know that in order to get off of a curb, right, that's the part that where the street meets a sidewalk. That's a curb. So we kind of have to know what that is too in order to understand that she ran off the curb in order to catch the umbrella. Number 4, why was the lady able to get the umbrella for Marjorie? The answer is D. The wind blew it against the telephone pole. And we find that right here. Right? Kissed her. Number 4, bump, and it went against the telephone pole and the wind left it there. And in a moment, the lady had it in her hand. The author didn't say that the lady picked it up because it got knocked onto the telephone pole. What we have to do is infer, which means we have to connect what the book and the author is telling us, plus what we know about our experiences in life. So when we connect ideas like that, we are making an inference. And we're going to answer a question. We're going to have maybe an idea. Okay, we're going to make a decision about something based on what the author is saying and our experience in life. Number 5, why did Marjorie cling to the umbrella with both hands? And you can almost picture her doing that. When you cling on to something, what's this word? You're really going to hold on to it. And we want to know is why did she do that? Okay, and why she did that was right here. She clung to the umbrella because she didn't want it to blow away anymore, right? Just in case that same thing happened again. She did not want the umbrella to blow away again. All right, one last one for this week. And this is our last RL 3.4. Now, RL 3.4 is all about knowing the meanings of words that the author uses. Okay? This is adapted from Just Before Supper by Robert Gordon Anderson. Okay, let's go look at our questions first, and then we're going to go back. One strategy that I want us to start using when we're answering these types of questions is substitute the words that they're giving us as choices in the answer in what they're trying to get us to know the meaning of. So let's go to number 1. In paragraph 1, what is the meaning of? See these quotes? That's what we have to get to know the meaning of. Walk across the sky. The sun grows tired of its hot walk across the sky. What does that phrase mean? It means, see, the sun is setting. In the afternoon, okay, we have to know that in the afternoon, the sun has already gone from down low all the way half up the sky, right? So that's another way we have to inference. We have to take what the author is saying plus what we know about the sun and decide. That's what it means. The sun is setting. It's going down because it grows tired of its hot walk across the sky. Number 2, what are, here we go, four-footed friends at the barn in paragraphs 1 and 2. So now we got to go back in paragraph number 2 and see where is that talking about in paragraph number 1 and 2. Okay, what the answer is. The answer is B, milk cows. Okay. So the children are going to go to the barn to watch their four-footed friends come home. Okay, and they've been out in the long pasture. And look, it is late and does not long for the cows. All day long they have been in the pasture. Right, so those are the animals that have to come home. They're four-footed friends, the milk cows. Number 3, what is the meaning of wade in paragraph 2? Now here's where I want you to practice substituting. So the word wade either means hide, play, fall, or walk. Let's try to use hide in that sentence. Where's the word wade in paragraph 2? Right here in the brook. Paragraph 2, the word wade. Let's see. Sometimes Frank, the hired man who helps Farmer Green, is late and does not go for the cows. All day long they have been in the pasture. Sometimes they eat the grapes and pink clover. Sometimes they wade in the little brook which flows from there. All right, let's try hide. Sometimes they hide in the little brook which flows there. Does that make sense? Sometimes they play in the little brook which flows there. Now we're talking about cows that eat clover and grass all day long. What about fall? Sometimes they fall in the little brook which flows there. I don't know, they could fall, but that's really not what this paragraph is talking about. Or walk. All day long they have been in the pasture. Sometimes they eat grass and pink clover, and sometimes they walk in the little brook which flows there. But then it grows late, and then they go home. The answer is D. They walk is the same as wade. Number 4, what is the meaning of switch in paragraph 9? Wrap, comb, move, or repair. Let's go look at this. They do not go too far. They do not go too near the stalls, for while the cows are eating their supper, they switch their tails to keep off the flies. They switch their tails. I even drew that, right? Because it's talking about their tails, and they switch their tail. And I was thinking to myself, well, in order to move, I've seen cows before. In order to get the flies off of them, do they wrap their tail? They comb their tail? They move their tail? Or they repair? The answer is C. They move their tail to keep off the flies. Number 5, what is the meaning of spurts in paragraph 11? Now, spurts, it's kind of like what I'm thinking of a A whale, you know, when it blows the water, it spurts or squirts out its blowhole. Number 5. Let's see. The children like to see their father and Frank sit on their 3-legged stools in the stalls and milk the cows. The milk spurts into the pails and it sounds very pleasant. So what does that word spurts mean? The milk boils into the pails and it sounds pleasant. The milk sprays into the pails and it sounds very pleasant. The milk cools into the pail, or the milk remains in the pail and it sounds very pleasant. You guessed it. The word spurts is another word for the word sprays. All right, that's it. For this week, we had to do all those passages this week. It was great practice, great reading. I want you to keep using your strategies and to be able to figure out what's the best choice that we can make when we're answering these types of questions when we're reading text like this. It's kind of like being a detective. We got to read the question and then go back in the text to find the clues to answer it. You guys did a great job this week. I'm so proud of all the work you did, all the reading you did. It's going to keep growing you as a reader, and I really, really appreciate all the hard work you guys are doing. We miss you so much, and we'll see you soon.